Konene, so kuna vile Kalonzo alikuwa na trend, na alikuwa na trend for the wrong reasons. Alikuwa na trend juu kulikuwa na hii news article, and I'm going to put it in quotes, ya Citizen Digital. Ilikuwa ni President Ruto deploys Kalonzo Musyoka as special envoy for democracy ahead of Côte d'Ivoire elections. Alafu hii of course ilikuwa posted on the 7th of August 2025, and the reason hii ilikuwa posted ni just on the 5th of August 2025 kulikuwa na like a post from Kalonzo Musyoka. This post was real. Na ilikuwa imeandikwa, thank you Captain Muoki, Florence and Esther and the cabin crew for a wonderful flight and excellent service. It was a pleasure flying with Kenya Airways, the pride of Africa, to Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire today. So there was that. Alafu of course now after hiyo ikajulikana umse iko Côte d'Ivoire. So what is he there doing in Côte d'Ivoire? Kulikuwa na now another letter inasemekana ilikuwa dated the 6th of August. Ilikuwa ni shuttle diplomacy mission to Côte d'Ivoire by Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka. Then kuna place ya His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of South Africa of Kenya, has appointed Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, a former Vice President and accomplished diplomat, to undertake shuttle diplomacy engagements with political stakeholders. Okay, so there was that. Alafu still tukistick na Kalonzo Musyoka, another article ilikuwa ni the corridors of power, na hiyo pia naenda kuiput in quotes. The corridors of power inakuwa ni column fulani kwa The Star, na ilikuwa nasema, on July 22nd a Vista jet charter quietly departed Wilson Airport for Dubai. Aboard was the man previously positioned as the face of the opposition, the last viable challenger to the incumbent. Hours later, the president landed from Addis, and sources confirmed that a private meeting took place. The outcome, a high-stakes deal: abandon the 2027 presidential bid, accept the running mate slot, and receive a guaranteed 2032 succession in exchange for a $70 million payout, routed discreetly through Gulf intermediaries. This isn't just speculation. A deleted KTN segment and strategic leaks from the ruling side point to advanced talks and a reconfiguration already underway. For a politician long known for caution, compromise, and cutting last-minute deals, this may be his final pivot. If confirmed, the opposition has no candidate, no cohesion, and no path. The 2027 race just became a formality. So ilikuwa ni allegedly from the corridors of power. And as I'm going to say, ni allegedly, because ukicheki one thing about hizi post zote, the only real post hapa ni hiyo ya Kalonzo akikuwa kwa flight ya Kenya Airways. Then if you are to go to the corridors of power, for example, one of the things you'll notice is kama ushai soma the corridors of power inakuwa kwa The Star, the images that they use are normally AI generated, so they never use the real image. So they've used the real image of Kalonzo. Then inakuwa ni a gossip column, so unaonaga imeandikwa corridors of power, then hapo chini political gossip. So hii political gossip waga, normally they don't mention who they are talking about, they just talk about something. So kulikuwa kaa ingine sijua recent purge within 2 critical agencies in government has sent shockwaves. Unacheki, so they don't talk about who. So itakuwa ni one mole whispers that some of them are seriously lobbying. Like there's always that. Then kulikuwa na ingine corridors of power, a female MP could soon find herself in trouble. Why? She's reportedly running her office like a private enterprise. They don't name who the MP is. So this shows you that was not real. Another thing is, what I'd want to know is why specifically Kalonzo ni anakuwa targeted. Because these were so many posts to just be targeting one person. Najua, just fake posts. So of course kuna hiyo story ya deployment as a Nini for democracy Côte d'Ivoire, hiyo haiko. But then if you have to go back to the figure of $70 million, which comes to around 9.1 billion Kenyan shillings, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And apart from that is for this guy to wait for 2032. Right now, he's 71 years old, but he was born in December. So he's closer to 72 than 71. So in December atakuwa 72. In 2032, which is 7 years away from now, atakuwa 79. If he has any political ambitions, it makes zero sense for him to strike a deal that lets him run for presidency when he's 79. because of course his age will become a factor. And kumekuwa na hii narrative ya right now, especially the Gen Zs, they want a younger person if it was up to them, but of course wanna accept Maraga because he's different from the rest, but people still want a younger person. So that makes it really tricky for anyone who's trying to make a deal to run when they are 79 years old. So that didn't make sense to me. Like, why would you want to run at 79 years old? So I'd want to know why is he the main target, and why this effort? Because this effort was, whoever took their time to come up with this alifikiria like everything. Umsan and Côte d'Ivoire. So let's use this image because this was shared on internet by a lot of people who thought that it was real and that this guy had struck a deal. And then of course to compound on that, kulikuwa pia na post fulani ya boy anaitwa nani, Murara pia alikuwa ameteta juu ya Kalonzo. Acha tusikize Murara.
Unasema wako kwa opposition. There is a guy there that receives Besha Shigana 2 million every week. And just the other day he met with William Ruto. You see, I know things. Vile mnaniona hivi, it's not everything that you think I don't know that I don't know. I know more than you think I know. The other day he met with William Ruto and he was negotiating with William Ruto to be his running mate in 2027. Anataka kuwa running mate na kwa opposition, anapinga Ruto, anasema extrajudicial killings, anasema this person has killed people through the police. Usiku anapatana, anataka kuwa running mate ya Ruto in 2027. Anaendelea kupokea pesa kutoka kwa consolidated fund, amepewa security ya serikali.
Okay, so hapa the person who posted the video lanka Kalonzo anafanya mikutano ya negotiation na Ruto. So I don't know if Morara actually said that, because he hints at someone who does all that. Do I know who that is? No, I don't. But this Kalonzo story is interesting. And still, of course, if I was to go back to the 9.1 billion shilling thing, it shows you how we've come to tumekuja kudharau bilioni. Tunadharau bilioni mpaka tunadharau bilioni to this level where someone can claim that a candidate is being bribed 9.1 billion and we don't even bat an eye. We are like, that's okay. And this is the reason why ukitaka kujua vile tunadharau pesa. Majuzi unakumbuka mi niko na criticize, niko nasema that hii story imehappen ya SportPesa, niko nasema left a few unajua questions that deserved answers. And nibaki nimecheki nani huyu, I think ilikuwa ni Cyprian, alikuwa ameandika juu stories za nini stories za SportPesa, akisema vile how can someone win close to 500 million. Unajua hiyo like 500 million. Nakumbuka when I reacted to that and I was asking like, this person did not even, they didn't show any excitement. Kuna swali niambia niko na poverty mentality, and I think that just shows you how much tunadharau bilioni. And tunadharau bilioni not because we will ever touch it, but because the politicians, najua, they've stolen mpaka to a certain level. We think that $1 billion is just very little money, but that's a lot of money. That's some life-changing money. That's some money that if you got inaweza bidi like usi, yani ukipata hiyo dono invest vizuri, au need kuwaka day in your life. Yeah, so there's that. And tukitoka hapo acha tuangalie nini. I think let's look at maybe a few less serious stories before we go back to some serious stories. So there are a few less serious stories. Kuna mtu aliamua kujoke juu ya the 2024 tweeps of the year. Alafu kikamkwa the 2024 tweeps of the year, the 2024 KOT Awards, kulikuwa na the fattest tweep of the year, ikabaki imego out to my closest friend Francis Gaido. Tuko very close, it's just that yuko huko Masaiza Lusaka akijificha, but sisi tuko hapa kwa ground. But apart from that, tuko close. So yes, that ilbaki imego out to Mr. Francis Gaido. So yeah, Francis Gaido, a big shout out. Alafu tukitoka wapi jo? Tukitoka hapo, another very funny story nilicheki, ilikuwa ni Hanifa Farsafi alikuwa ameandika, I'm so sorry but how do you even date So kulikuwa na ile picha ilikuwa imeshariwa na Kibet Bull ya Sudi apparently ana date dem fulani hapo anaitwa Masi Masai, si ndio? And then in the process kuna msee akaamua kujoke Joyo story, akabaki ameandika you shouldn't. I found that to be hilarious. So yeah, that was a funny story I've seen. Then pia kulikuwa na umse anaitwa nani, Seth Olale the reporter alikuwa ameandika my personal opinion, 2 consecutive red cards means the team is struggling with pitch indiscipline. Then msanaitwa Roy Wahome akashare an old tweet ya Masi Niki ilikuwa imeandikwa weka simu kwa matako and enjoy all the vibration from the notifications. Toa ujinga hapa. Damn, that was a Nini one, but still funny. So yeah, those are some funny tweets. Konene, nimeinterrupt show kukuremind you ya Lemfi. Unajua hii ni mwezi ya Kenya jo. Hii ni mwezi ya Kenya. So kwa huko majuu unatry kutuma do hapa Kenya, make sure umetumia Lemfi. And why? Lemfi kupatiaga the best exchange rates, na apart from that pia Lemfi inakupatia an opportunity to send how much? $8,000 in one day. Ama unaweza tuma $16,000 in 1 week, ama unaweza tuma $32,000 in 1 month. That means unaweza tuma 1 million in 1 day, ama unaweza tuma 2 million in 1 week, ama unaweza tuma 4 million in 1 month. That means stories za construction za baki umezifanya chap. Pia another thing ni saizi unaweza baki umeconnect your Lemfi to your debit card, so si lazima ubaki umedeposit pesa kwa your Lemfi wallet, unatuma tu direct from your debit card ikikuja Kenya. Usisahau pia na kuaga ni instant. Alafu make sure umetumia promo code EKONENE, kutumia promo code EKONENE kwa your first transaction ya $100 ile utatuma, utabaki umepata $20 cashback. Alafu pia EKONENE utakuwa umeisupport cause pia sisi tutapata $20, unajua. So make sure umechangamka jo, na vile musemaga jo, Lemfi international payments for everyone. EKONENE. Wacha turudi kwa show. Now back to serious business. Stories accidents, kumekuwa na a lot of accidents lately, and kulikuwa na hii kwa Citizen TV kulikuwa na government nyongo calls for redesigning of Kisumu Kakamega highway after accident kills 26. And when I see this I'm like, is the road the problem? Because if these accidents are happening everywhere, does it mean that we need to redesign all roads? Because yes, kulikuwa na hii accident ili happen masaiza Kisumu and ended up killing a lot of people. And I think by Saturday when I was doing my reaction on these accidents, I think ilikuwa inasemekana 35 people had died. And since kumekuwa na like other accidents that happen. Kuna hii accident happen just last night. The accident ilikuwa ni 2 dead after lorry rams a coach bus along Nairobi Narok highway. So kulikuwa na hiyo. Alafu pia kulikuwa na another accident that happened masaiza Makueni, kulikuwa ni 4 killed in road accident along Kibwezi Kitui Road. So if Kibwezi Kitui Road kuna accident, Nairobi Narok highway kuna accident, Kisumu Kakamega highway kuna accident, it shows you the road design is not the problem. Because I'm sure those roads don't look the same. Najua, that's one thing that I'm 100% sure about. So it means that it's about the drivers. And I think one of the things inasemekana ni as soon as AI replaces human drivers, accidents zinaenda kureduce by a very, like, accidents zakuwa very few. Human error. And hii human error ya Kenya inakuwaga sponsored na corruption. Like, we know that if we break the laws when we're on the road, we can always bribe our way out. And also we know that nothing happens to our driving licenses. Najua, they're never suspended. They are never. So when you look at all these things, you start seeing the reason why these accidents keep happening. And one thing that I hate about this country, yetu yani, ni the fact that we've normalized road accidents so much, and we've normalized road deaths, that it doesn't matter how many deaths happen, you'll never hear a statement from any president. This didn't happen during Kibaki's time, didn't happen during Uhuru, and it's not happening during Ruto. We take road accidents as something that's normal. Because according to me, if Ruto today was to come out and say like, this enough is enough, utaona accidents ita go down. Because watu watajua like, saa hizi, what's going to happen automatically? Watu wana overspeed watashikwa, watu wa reckless driving watashikwa. Apart from, of course, dereva wa mood, hawezi shikwa. so tutashikwa. So what's going to happen is hizi accidents tapaki zimereduce, alafu before you know it. So if you have to ask me, like, if one way we do this thing is to have zile vitu zinaitagwa operations, so we can have an operation on the maybe Nairobi Mombasa highway, arrest a few people, especially ama truck drivers wanakuwaga na upumbavu kabisa ya ku drive recklessly, because they always know that in case of an accident their chances of survival are much higher than wasi wako chini, because wasi wako chini wenda chini ya hizi magari. So history ya nyang'nyongo ya we need to redesign the highway, it's nonsense. We need to redesign the way Kenyans drive on Kenyan roads, and they need to understand that there will be consequences. Kwa other countries kuna kuwaga na vehicular murder, kuna kuwaga na vehicular manslaughter, kuna kuwaga na vehicular, there's all these things that happen when you misbehave with a car. Sisi, it's just called an accident and everyone goes home. Kuna truck drivers washaua watu na magari and they are back driving those trucks. Ajua, nothing happened to them. So the reckless driving keeps happening and these accidents keep happening. Like, I've never seen this amount of accidents in such a short time. I think like this past weekend, if I'm wrong, to may lose over 60 people to accidents. The same way we are outraged when we lost over 60 people to protest, we need to be outraged the same. Because don't forget, you're always on these roads. Yeah? We are always on these roads. Tusiact ni kama waga tuna fly, tukienda unaenda round yako town na fly uko na helicopter, hata uko na pesa ngapi hauwezi. At some point lazima uingie kwa barabara, na kwa hizi barabara a lot of bullshit happens. Nakumbuka hii masaiza Nyayo, hata mother fulani alidedi, alikuwa kwa 3 juu kuna watu walikuwa na overspeed. So walikuwa na overspeed alafu wakabaki wame nini. So wachikizi story cause lazima kuwe na consequences. Hii hata mimi ni remind kuna story fulani nilicheki, I think ili happen majuu. Ile mother fulani alikuwa arrested cause alikuwa try kuhepesha mtoi wake outside the country, cause mtoi wake alikuwa involved in racing. Alafu after the kid was involved in racing, the kid committed an costa murder. Ilikuwa ni mother and son arrested while trying to flee the country after a deadly street race in New Jersey. 20-year-old Alvi Limani killed a man during an illegal street race. His mother, Vilma Vneshta, allegedly helped him to try to escape. They were caught at Miami International Airport boarding an overseas flight. Both are now facing serious charges. So nachiki kifala kimeenda kikiingiza madhake kwa shida ijuani juu ya overspeeding. And that's what shows you, like, hapa Kenya, after all the mother dedishwa kwa gari, I think hiyo story ilienda hivyo. I've never had anyone got arrested. Na kwa hiyo time, ilikuwa hiyo time I think Mosiri ended up doing some very dumb video like, oh vijana msikuwe mna race, and he was saying it like that's a crime. Hakuna kitu ati tuna negotiate na wewe, you're a criminal and you need to be arrested. So kulikuwa na hiyo nonsense. So hapa Kenya, I don't know what's going to happen for us to start taking road accidents seriously. Like, people should just be able to enjoy the road. Kama unaishi Nairobi, unafaa kuwa kama uko na gari, unaweza mwaniaje, I just want to drive to Naivasha. And as you drive to Naivasha, you don't need prayers. Hii yetu inadidigi like every time. All these things we've normalized where before you get kwa barabara, your parents pray for you. It's cause the roads are reckless, man. Like, any drivers are just doing, I don't know. And talking of other bullshit happening hapa Kenya. Hapa Kenya kuna kuga na hii tabia ya people posting money. But I actually hate it when I see politicians doing it. So kulikuwa na politician anaitwa Honorable Mbithe. Apparently ni MCA fulani. And she filmed herself playing around with around 1 million shillings. Unamwona akiweka 500,000 and then kidogo anaeka another 500,000. And what happens with this is even wagondi pia wako kwa social media. So I don't know, like what are you trying to achieve? Because wagondi pia wako kwa social media and they might end up now starting to assume that you will always have ido na wewe. So I don't know kila try kuachieve na hiyo. Alafu another story nafuatilia ile nilifind ikiwa interesting ni kuna vile different insurance companies from Old Mutual, kulikuwa na GA Insurance, kulikuwa na AAR, CIC, zote zibaki zimerelease statements zikisema that they've suspended services zao, ama yani nini, zimesuspend kucover Nairobi Hospital as one of the hospitals where unajua watu wako insured na wanaweza baki wameenda. and walikuwa nasema reason ni juu ya prices. Kuna vile Nairobi Hospital ilibaki imepush prices juu. I think everything from consultation fees to what and they all released easy statements in a very short span. I think mostly kwa ni 6th of August, kwa na 5th of August, kulikuwa na 8th of August from Old Mutual. I think that was the oldest release. Yes, and then what happened on the 9th of August, Nairobi Hospital ikabaki imerespond kwa ni position statement by the Nairobi Hospital. The Nairobi Hospital wishes to inform our valued patients, partners and the general public that consultative meetings are currently underway with the leadership of the medical insurance companies to address recent concerns on tariff adjustments. We've invited representatives of all the affected insurance to a consultative meeting for Monday, 11th of August, with the aim of reaching a mutually agreeable solution that safeguards patient care and sustains access to quality medical services. The Nairobi Hospital remains committed to constructive engagement with our stakeholders. We recognize the concerns raised by our insurance partners, but reiterate that the tariff adjustments are necessary to maintain the high standards of healthcare our patients deserve. Independent comparisons indicate that our revised rates remain competitive and fair when measured against peer institutions offering equivalent levels of care and expertise. But of course Nairobi Hosi tunaijuaga kama hosi ya wadosi, so I guess maybe walikuwa wanatry kutest kuona kama hiyo nini ya udosi nizabaki maintain. So I don't know what's going to happen with that, but it's good that also the insurance companies zilibaki zimereact in that way, because that shows you how his story zimekuwa ni too much. And yani nini it's everything healthcare, especially in this country. I think nishaisikia Gaboni akisema that sisi wengi wetu tuko an illness away from poverty, and it's not a good thing. Nikitoka hapo wacha niangalie Buda tunakuwaga tuna thank for democracy and trying to safeguard democracy. Buda mwenyewe ni Maina Kiai. So kuko na Maina Kiai, human rights defender, appointed new chairperson of the Kenyan Human Rights Commission and takes over from Davinda Lamba. So I think Maina Kiai bado alikuwa anawakia the Kenyan Human Rights Commission, I think back in the days. I don't know in what capacity, but that's how I remember me nilibaki nimemjua. Of course alibaki ameget ile nini High Court kapitisha that rule that whatever is declared at the polling station is final and cannot be adjusted, and this was based on zile sarakasi za Tarakaniti za back in the days. So yeah, a big up to Maina Kiai. Another story ni kuna one time fulani wa Masai za Zambia alibaki ameenda surgery akabaki amededi hizo side za South Africa, anaitwa Edgar Lungu. So Edgar Lungu kama mjui ni raya fulani shaibonga gaji yake hapa kwa iko nini. He was the president of Zambia, ule alikuwa anafanyaga sana kneel mbele yake, like people used to kneel in front of this clown. The clown, of course, if people are kneeling in front of you, you want to be worshipped, and that means you're not building hospitals. So when he got sick, alibaki ameenda South Africa, afu akabaki amededi, but he was still all up in his feelings juu alipataga one time. So alikuwa amesema hataki a state funeral, but South African court imerule that Zambia can repatriate the body of ex-president Edgar Lungu and give him a state funeral despite family plans to bury him privately. So familia yake bado imekula moto, ni kama jamii ya watu wa Zambia, like how dare you give this guy one time, najua. So kuna hiyo upumbavu zile zuwaga zina happen hapa Africa where our politicians think that they deserve to run their countries forever even if they are running them wrongly. So yeah, that's one of the things ile nimekuwa nikifuatilia nikicheki Mr. Edgar Lungu. Yes, and what else? Kuna hii story, I don't know who this is, but kulikuwa na the talk of town. Chanimalizie na hii talk of town. Randy lawmaker targets diplomats. Then kakua a lawmaker has become a nuisance to diplomats posted to Nairobi. Talk of town has had tales of the MP scheduling meetings with envoys but making them uncomfortable with unwarranted sexual overtures. One diplomat was overheard lamenting the harassment she went through when the man insisted on meeting her in his hotel room instead of the lobby. Earlier, the MP had invited another diplomat for a drink before insisting on driving her to his residence. On both occasions, the diplomats rejected the offers but escalated the matter to their seniors. So hii inanikalia ni tule tu buda waga tumesikia unajua wazungu wanapenda kudinywa. Na wewe ni mheshimiwa, since wewe ni mheshimiwa, ukimuomba hawezi kataa kupatia. Kama anaweza patia rasta kutoka Dandora, anaweza kataa kupatia wewe na yeye ni mheshimiwa. Ni falaka hiyo. Kama ni mrasta kutoka Dandora usibaki umejam na mimi. But yeah, kuna ufala. And ufala pia naona jail sentence in his nini, cause hiyo jingo utaifanya hapa Kenya, alafu one day utamake mistake uende huko majuu, utry hiyo jinga, alafu hapo ndio utabaki find out that wewe si mheshimiwa. Inaitangwa fuck around and find out. Eko nene.